Hey, Jason Rice here. Another lot party quick tip. I get get a lot of emails and texts from some dealers out there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab my phone so it don't vibrate. I get a lot of texts and emails. Matter of fact, we do this weekly State of the Union used car call, and we ask a lot of questions at that point in time of what concerns and what people are seeing out there. And a lot of the times I'm getting asked, what level of inventory should I be carrying right now? Should I go buy? Matter of fact, I even had somebody who had an opportunity of opening up another lot and was thinking about buying 100 cars for that lot. And should they do it now, even though they're not sure if the market's going to be there? So, hey, Brad, thanks for liking that. So, one of the things I wanted to make sure that to get out there, and one of the things I tell them is, just carry to your sale rate. Okay. I wouldn't be extending myself. What's up, Brad? I wouldn't be extending myself right now, and I wouldn't be over anticipating. As a matter of fact, I was on a demo with another dealer group, and they were talking about should they get on a 90, 120 day supply or aging policy, I should say. And man, it just kind of threw me for a loop, because even before, what's up, Chris? Even before the pandemic, everything that's happening right now, we're pushing dealers to a 30-day supply. That's what we've always done the last 7 years, helping dealerships out, is trying to get them on a 30-day supply, meaning you carry 100, you sell 100. And we have dealers doing that. That's pretty common in our world, other than the dealers that were just trying to help get out of their age problem. And for them to say, going in this current market and going forward, that they wanted a 90 or 120 day aging policy kind of threw me for a loop, because I think you definitely want a 60-day age policy, but 30 is the new 60. This market's moving so fast right now. This dealer felt like they have to have 150 in stock to sell their 100, because of the time it takes to do transportation, titles, get it in and out of service. And it's not so much was the turnaround time their concern was, is buying it, transporting it, and having those issues of, what's up, Chris? Good afternoon. Having those issues of, that's out of their control. They already had a inventory management tool like a Rapid Recon to help turnaround time, but they still felt like they had to have 150 to sell their 100. But the problem is, in my eyes, we're teaching dealers to be more proactive instead of reactive when it comes to stocking. You don't have to go buy an abundance of cars for that drag and turnaround time. If you would recognize when a car's about ready to leave, let's just say you got a 40, 50-day old car, you price at 90%, it's converting really well, you got some appointments scheduled on it. Maybe you have an aging policy at 60 days and you want to make sure that car is leaving, that's going to be leaving soon. That car should be leaving in the next 7 to 10 days. Go buy the replacement already to get that transportation done, to get that car in and out of service. So when that car does leave, you've got the replacement one there. And so again, you're selling, carrying, and not, or you're buying prior to the sell, and then you're filling that slot as soon as that car leaves, instead of leaving that slot open for 14 days. Because now the car leaves, and then you go buy it, and then you transport it, and then you go through service, and it might take 7 to 14 days for that car. But you should have went ahead and got that car bought, knowing that it was going to leave in the next 7 to 10 days. So be proactive with your stocking, but carry to your sale rate. And that's where you got to look at a 2-week sale rate, I think, because if you just look at a 1-week sale rate, you might have a good day or something that maybe looked a little bit funny, or maybe a slow past couple days. And so I would look at a 2-week sale rate, because think about it, a lot of times we talk about mid-month, right? We talk about where we're sitting mid-month and then where we might end up. And so if you just look at 2-week sale rates, and if that spikes over the last 2 weeks, you're now go making sure you're buying to it. If it starts slowing down, then make sure you're not, and cutting back to it. And that's where the appraisal process becomes real important too, because the less cars obviously you need to go to the lane to buy, the better if you can be trading for these vehicles. With the new cars incentives out there, and they're probably big opportunities to trade for a lot of cars. So, take advantage of that, but carry to your sell rate. If you're if you're selling 100 a month, carry 100. Again, this dealer I was talking about was a big dealer group, and the total in the group had 800 something cars. That also included wholesale, but they're only pushing, 400 or 500 off of. They said 6+ was probably true retailable, and they're still only pushing 4 something. I told them one or two things. We either cut your inventory down to the 4 or 450 that you're selling, and save money on floor plan and expense there, or cash, or ramp your sales up to the 6 that you're carrying. One of the two things has to happen, but I wouldn't just be carrying all that heavy inventory. This market's going to be moving way too fast for that. So carry what you sell what you carry, stick to a 60-day age policy. I can understand a few cars bleeding through if you got that right car waiting for that right buyer and you own it good still, but that's 5 to 10% of your inventory, if that. Most of the year, I would say 60 to 70% of your cars are run-of-the-mill cars that just need to be moved. And then the other 5-10% are cars you're buried in, you need to get off as soon as possible. So try to get every car off your lot within a 30-day average or less. And don't overextend yourself just because there might be some good pricing right now. The other thing is, if you're a franchise dealer, avoid other franchise late model cars. You don't want to get tied up in Hondas and Toyotas and Nissans or Volkswagens, 2019s and 20s, even though if they're really cheap at the lane, because you're going to be competing against their new car incentives and some pretty good CPO incentives. Volkswagen threw out 0% on their CPO certified Volkswagen cars, 0% for 60 months. And then Toyota, I know, have a 90-day deferment. I think BMW just did a 6 to 0% on their certified pre-owns with a deferment too, I believe. So don't get tied up in late model, non-franchise, non-your franchise. If you do end up buying them, man, just price them cheap and get off those things in 14 or 21 days. Get off them quick. And with your own, I would probably really drive some CPO. So hope this is helpful. Just carry what you sell what you're carrying. And then if you want a free inventory evaluation, go to lotpop.com. We'll give you tips, insights of what we see missing in your inventory right now, both in your marketing and your pricing. And, we'll dip in your inventory management tool, show you other reports and other metrics that we think that you could be behind on, that you could get better on. So we give tips on those also of your current inventory, but obviously we'll also go over any kind of things that we might be able to help you with. So lotpop.com. Hope this was helpful.